Whoa. No, I'm just kidding. Welcome everybody back to another Boldcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is Chainsaw Man, episode 8?
Either 7 or 8.
7. We'll see what happens. Denji just jumped into the belly of the beast and didn't hit the bottom. So we'll see if he can, I don't even know, find its heart, find something, like find its something, some weakness, or if they'll be able to do something to help him on the outside, or if he'll just die, and we'll see what happens there.
The show's called Chainsaw Man.
And it's just everybody remembering the Chainsaw Man. He's a mythic figure that is in the minds and hearts of all the characters that he touched, but not in the story.
Leave a like and subscribe. Let's go.
They're actually playing it? What?
This is your lucky day.
No way! I just like, we watch the ending every time when we record. Oh shit. Oh!
Ah!
I can't believe they're actually playing the song. Did he just bite it?
There's just so much flesh.
This is Berserk.
It's also really interesting that they're talking to, like, the chainsaw devil, not Denji.
Yeah.
And I was also thinking about this. I kept not bringing it up because I kept forgetting. But the fact that the chainsaw devil was, like, just a tiny little guy when, like, chainsaws are a feared thing. I mean, not necessarily something you would encounter in your daily life.
But, like, everybody knows it's dangerous and, you know.
And so many people just, like, have had chainsaw accidents.
And it's a worldwide implement, like.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm interested in if we learn more about little Pochita and if he used to be like really big and
I mean,
dangerous.
it makes sense that he was powerful enough to like talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, also it's weird that they were able to kill the tomato demon so easily, considering most people, like, not most people, a lot of people hate tomatoes. The tomato demon seemed like a little slump, you know, piece of shit.
I mean, tomatoes aren't known for like killing people, so I know there's many people that
some people are allergic to tomatoes.
But like, the amount of people that fear tomatoes.
That's true.
And also, when we met Pochita, he was all like decrepit and like dying. So I don't know.
He was shot.
He was shot?
Pochita was shot.
Really?
You don't remember that? He like climbed out and he was like.
I didn't know that he was shot.
He had a bullet hole.
Oh, I didn't remember that. I guess I thought he got, like, stabbed or something.
I assumed that it was just those mafia guys. They just shot Pochita. But what if it was the fucking gun devil?
Accidentally took a, or accidentally or on
like
purpose.
Flew by, like the gun devil just flew by and it caught a round.
That would be crazy.
I was just assuming those mafia guys were a piece of shit and they just shot little Poch. Maybe they were, but.
Oh, great.
I love the teeth. Oh! He's cannibalizing this other devil. That was a really nice use of CG there. That was sick.
Ew. I was watching it like, my God.
Makes it taste like sweet strawberry jam. Jesus.
It's his neck.
I have a feeling he's unlikely to win this one alone. Oh! Oh, she pulled the cord. She pulled the cord to like wake him up.
Yeah.
It's good to know that he's also a vampire.
Well, it's good that he can use demon blood, not just
human
people
blood. Yeah. The Nobel Prize is mine. Because he's a perpetual motion machine. He can generate energy on his own. Jesus Christ. Is it possible for her to just keep ripping through? I think he's just like, she fell asleep. Was she watching him that long that she fell asleep watching him fight? And he just kept ripping them apart until...
They've just been in here for ages. They're all like weak with hunger.
Are they still fighting?
3 days. Yeah, if only someone didn't eat all the food, you dumb bitch.
Already? It's been 3 days!
Oh my god.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Holy crap.
Oh,
it's not surprising after that.
Oh, I thought this was another flashback.
It seemed like for a second.
姫野先輩も殺そうとしてたじゃないですか。ねえ。でやめちゃうんだわ。今の子は。ずうずうしくいい。飲みの場ならささっとデンジ君に謝れるし、小紅ちゃんたちを引き止められるでしょ。あんた飲みたいだけでしょ。小さいけど肉片。
Gun Devil.
Oh.
なら絶対に今週ですね。ん？なんで？どうせ飲むならマキマさんと飲みたい。正直さ。デンジ君って何者だと思う？相手の悪魔がデンジ君のことあんな姿も初めて見て。一番謎なのがあのマキマさんがデンジ君を気にかけてること。マキマさん、あちこちに行くのに最近は東京にいるのってデンジ君がいるからでしょ。デンジ君の秘密を知ってるからなのか。マキマさん呼ばせて聞いてみようか。
I was also gonna say, I wonder if, like, as Denji goes around and is fighting and killing demons and just, like, being a chainsaw man all over the place, and people see that, if he'll just get more and more powerful, because more and more people are just terrified of him, maybe. Or if people will be, like, because even if people are like, oh, wow, he's awesome and he's so helpful, he's still, like, scary.
I think that a lot of these things are, it's not, I don't know if the fears, I don't know how long it takes, because it seems like the Gun Devil, like, guns have been around for like a couple hundred years, few hundred, or how long? When was the first gun invented? A few hundred years, 300-400 years, probably. And now, but you know, it was because of like a big national like terrorist attack or something that like elevated everybody's concerns, and then there was all the gun bans and stuff like that. And there was like a big explosion, like a big increase in fear and understanding about it that caused the Gun Devil to get so powerful. So I don't know if it'll just be like, oh, and also he's saving people. Like we saw him, the couple of people that he saved got interviewed, and they were like, no, I thought he was bad, but then I saw his uniform and he's told me to get out of there, and he was a good guy. So like, wouldn't that negate the fear? Like he's crazy to look at, but
I was saying, like, just because you think something's a good thing doesn't mean you're still not afraid of it. Like, you know,
like what? Give me an example of that.
I don't know. Like, okay, let's.
What good things are you afraid of?
If you saw Denji, flying and like killing
okay, I get
people.
Denji is the example we're talking about, but like, what what are you likening that to? I don't know.
Okay, so let's say a needle. Like usually when you get a shot for something, it's a good thing, but people are still terrified of needles because they hurt, even though it's for a good thing in the end. You know what I mean? Or like the dentist, where you get your teeth fixed and helped, but you're still really scared of it. Or just the hospital where you can go to get your life saved, but it's still terrifying. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's a lot of things that are like, you know, this is a good thing. So you think
the more that he'll save people and do good things, the more that people will be afraid of him and the more powerful he'll become?
I'm not saying that I necessarily think that's where that's going. I'm saying I'm interested to see if that ever has any effect or any difference in him.
What is Power looking at there? She was like, what is she looking at?
Is this? Oh, he hadn't had most of that. This is a restaurant. You can order more of the thing that you want. Oh.
Kiss tempura. Devil you're contracted with.
Well, they all have contracts with devils.
Wait, then who's Makima contracted with? Denji? The chainsaw devil?
No, she probably has like...
The gun devil?
That would be... Imagine if she was...
What if she's contracted with the gun devil? And that's why she's like heading up this whole investigative team to try and get in contact with it again.
Well, if she was, then like I imagine that whatever the contract was would completely destroy her if she ever used it. So probably not. That's cool.
This Japanese person did not say she's down bad. Did she actually say that? Do Japanese people say down bad?
She has 8 sisters?
Yeah, we know about that.
Oh my god. Probably unlikely.
What, who's covering the bill?
I don't know. Two.
That's That's pretty good. Just keeps changing it.
見られちゃった。牧野さんに見られた。でもなんだ。この感触が嫉妬。気持ちとろけてるぞ。嫉妬じゃない。ゲロだ。
That's so gross.
何か深物よ。
Oh my god. He's so cute.
I wish that this wasn't bookending whatever the fuck we just watched. I guess this just goes to show you that context matters, because we, like, earlier this episode we saw him for 3 days drinking the blood of a disgusting hotel demon devil, or eternity devil. He drank its blood for 3 days, this devil. But then we see a grown woman puke into his mouth and he swallows it, and for some reason that's disgusting.
I think
it's the context.
Yeah.
The context is different. I don't know.
I also think it's because, like, everyone's puked before, so you know the taste of puke and how disgusting
You know the
that
taste
is.
of blood too.
Yeah, but, like, puke is just objectively grosser. Look at him.
Is he about to eat this puke?
ネズミが酔っ払いのゲロに集まってら信じられねえよな。同じ哺乳類として情けねえぜ。
姫の先輩には自制心が足りない。
Is he crying from the puking or because of how humiliating that
Yeah.
was?
解放してたら才能はなかったらな。羨ましいよ。羨ましいだと。こっちやよ。ファーストキスはゲロの味だぜ。それを羨ましい。
Maybe this is a sign to stop making deals for different things, because it never turns out the way you want it to.
デンジ君は？
デンジ君なら姫野先輩が背負って連れて行きましたよ。
暗い。どこだ？
I don't like where this is going.
水。そういえば。
Oh no.
You don't need another beer, ma'am.
I don't like where this is going.
そりゃあ、デンジ君、なんで私ん家にいんの？私が連れてきたんだっけ？んで？
クラクラする。んじゃこりゃ。
そういや君、マキマさんのことラブでしょ。
クラクラする。
なんかそんなやめときゃいいのに。もう、マキ君もあんな照れちゃってさ。もう、牛。しちゃう。
That's the whole episode? That was like the weirdest fucking episode. Like, I don't even know what to think about that. There was an insane fight at the beginning.
Yeah, it was like 3-day long fight where he's just surviving off of blood. Everyone else is like almost dying because Power ate all the food.
When he swallowed her puke, and the way they did the facial animation of his eyes like bulging out and like his face looking all gaunt and everything, they really sold. I think that's also what added to the whole disgusting factor of it. It was, you know, just that one like little shot. This is weird as fuck also with Himeno, like bringing him back. Like we've talked a lot about, and apparently no one else is talking about how weird it is that Denji is like, I don't know, the whole situation with Makima, but like this is just as bad. And with what we know of Himeno, she seems like she's just falling more and more in love with Aki. The more time she spends with him, but Aki obviously has no time for that kind of shit, and she's now sort of projecting that feeling onto that frustration onto Denji. It seems like, and it's just so weird. It's weird because I don't know if the series. It seems to me like the anime is putting some like weirdness on these sexual situations, like. It's not just like a fan servicey like sexy moment. There's sex appeal to it obviously, but it's like I don't know if in the manga it's meant to be like a weird power dynamic, a weird relationship. Like she drinks a beer and then spits it into his mouth, and also she had gotten like super drunk and he wasn't drinking at all. He's 16. He wasn't drinking. He was drinking tea, and she puked after drinking all that beer into his mouth. He swallowed it. Then he started throwing up. But still, he got drunk. He got secondhand drunk, I guess. Well, he was also
super dehydrated and had like no food.
And he just ate all that stuff, and then he
puked it all up.
Either way, I don't know if so. My point in all that is he was intoxicated, and she was like intoxicating him secondhand. So like I don't know. She was like basically drugging him in a way. I don't know know how much she meant to, or how much it was an accident, or what the deal is. But and she's obviously wasted, but and she's been through some serious shit and everything. But I don't know how much of the series is putting that weirdness on it, or if I'm reading into it more. But I have a feeling we're not just reading that into the story.
I think it's clearly like the whole thing with Makima being like, I don't know how old she is, probably
she's like 25.
Yeah, like
they said
25. How old is
He's 16. Himeno is like 23.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit older.
Yeah, and Denji is like the bottom of this company. Like he's you know, him and Power are like even lower than the average new person would be. Yeah. Because they're devils. So it's this weird power dynamic all over the place. Also, he's young, and they all comment on like, holy shit. Like, you know, they're like, oh, 20, that's really young. You're sick. What the fuck? Like, what the fuck? How are you even here? Like, what, you know, what's the deal with that? But then at the same time, they're still taking advantage of that and of his, in this situation, of his inexperience and like, his desire to like feel loved and like be involved in sexual things, that, like, you know what I mean, just because but we've seen previously that just because he like thinks that he wants that, then he still feels shitty when he gets it, because he's not getting what he actually wants, which is someone to care about him and not just use him for their own laughs or their own desires of whatever they want. And he is not like emotionally and socially attuned enough to be able to tell what people are like, what other people are getting out of the interaction with him, or
to put together what he actually wants. Like
exactly.
He knows when he got the boob touch, he realized that it was, you know, empty feeling, but he hasn't put together that, like, he hasn't really put together like what that means. I think.
Well, then all Makima was just like, oh, well, that it was just not good because like you have to like get the other person, and then he's like, oh yeah, but only she gets me. Like then he's like, oh well, she gets me, so it's about her, and it's like, no, that's your boss and a grown woman.
The reason I'm talking about this is because we talk about this all the time, but of the other reactions that I've seen, it doesn't seem like anyone else is like I'm questioning it because nobody else is picking up on the same things that I'm reading out of the story. So I don't know if we're reading that into it, or if other people just aren't picking up on it, because I guess like if you're reacting to something, you sometimes don't pick up on everything because you're focused on like doing a reaction, I guess. I don't know. And I've read in the comments, obviously, that a lot of people have said like, oh, well, it's, you know, it's good that you're picking up on this or that. But I don't know if that's just us, because everyone else is always like really excited. It seems like everyone else is like, oh damn, yeah, get it, Denji, and we're just over here like, he's not only is he 16 years old, but this is a really, like, it feels gross and sketchy. Like this, like but it's also because okay, so Denji's 16 and this is written for teenagers. Like this is written for young boys. So like, I don't know, like if I was 16, or if I'm picturing like average 16-year-old kid reading this manga, are they like, oh damn, I wish I could have this drunk girl like passing out on my shoulder with my shoulder in between her tits? Like, is that, oh, this is heaven. It's such like a crazy thing. It's like, damn, like you just kind of put yourself in that situation, and it seems very like something you want. But to me, I'm looking at it and just the way that it's framed, the way that it's shot, the way we're seeing it from his blurry perspective and everything, it's giving it like, there's two ways to look at it. For me, this like blurry perspective with beer pouring out of his mouth and him like kind of discombobulated, it seems like date rapey. Like it seems like weird to me, genuinely. I'm not like trying to have some weird, I don't know, like I'm not trying to like have a right opinion about this. This is just what it feels like to me. So but I can see, but I don't know if that's just me seeing that, because I feel like a lot of people could also see this and be like, it's like a POV porn, basically, like where you're sort of putting you are in the perspective of this person, and if I don't know if like himeno is your waifu or something, or if you just find her really attractive, you could put yourself. The perspective is really interesting to me, because I found, based on getting other people's reactions and watching other reactions, that like stuff like this is not viewed the same way. And to me, it genuinely feels like really sketchy. It feels like creepy. It doesn't. To me.
Yeah. I think that's the thing. I don't think that it's just us, because I like. You know, like it would be easy to make that scene not to seem super sketchy and just off. You know what I mean? Like if you were making this, you could make it not like that, but they didn't. You know what I mean?
But again, like I said, it's all perspective, because we're seeing that, but other people aren't seeing it. So I'm confident in the way that I'm feeling watching it, but I don't want to put that on the show or on the series if that's not actually there. I'm just being cautious about attributing the motive of the show. We'll just have to see as it unfolds if it is actually like that. Because so far, you know, it could either go both ways, but to me it feels kind of weird that all of the sex and all of the interactions sexually in the show have been about transaction and have been about like paying for something, or Kobeni being like, oh, you can either risk your life or sell your body. Or himeno, I'll only kiss you if I'm drunk, or I'll only kiss you if you do this for me. Or Makima, I'll do anything for you. You can grab my boobs. You can fuck me if you go and do this thing for me. Power, you can grab my boobs if you go save my cat. It's like there's no equal exchange. But again, it's just like it feels very clear to me that that's kind of what's going on here. But I'm just mentioning it because I think we're like one of maybe two people that I've seen, other reaction people who have like reacted to these kinds of scenes in the same way. And it's a big part of the show. Like how many scenes, like, and that's the other thing. It's not a small thing. It's not like an extra, it's not like a side story. Like, oh, you guys are focusing on this. This is like a huge character motivation thing going on here. This isn't just like, oh, this is an action show, but you're like kind of manufacturing this headcanon of like all this other shit. It's like, how many, we've had a scene every episode at least of Denji fawning over a female character, or like, you know, talking about how he wants to touch her tits or how he wants to do this or that. It's a huge part of the story. So I guess I just hope, it's not even that I doubt, it's not that I'm doubting, I don't even know. It's not that it's not a doubting of the quality of the show. there's been times in the past where we've read too much into things, then we get disappointed. So I just don't want to do that if it's not actually going that direction. But it seems clear to me that there are there's really creepy stuff going on. And I also
think that it makes the story, like, it takes it to another level beyond just like when you make your main character, oh, my main goal is to like grab some boobs.
Yeah.
Then that's a really shallow goal. But then when you introduce all the other players and his like immaturity in so many different ways and other people taking advantage of him, or you know what I mean? Like I feel like that, like, it gives the opportunity for like this very basic goal of his to like say a lot about like society or like relationships.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? I feel like it's the most interesting way possible that you could kind of go from that kind of like basic goal, you know?
It is. We've been burned so many times in the past, just in comments and in the series we watch, where we just like think, oh, this is the most interesting way that this can go, and then it's too complicated and it doesn't go that way, because we expected too much out of something. And yeah, it's true. It's like there's another show with devils and it's all about touching boobs, and it's called High School DxD. And that's basically like, if we're making a comparison, that's like fucking Issei from that show is Denji in this show. It's just without any kind of complication or any kind of serious examination of these relationships. So and so far this doesn't feel just like a more violent High School DxD. This feels like something real is going on here. But we're only 7 episodes in, so it's hard to really say. But I hazard to assume too much, but this is genuinely what I feel, and it doesn't feel like it's just us reading nothing into the story. Because also, if we look at the shame and the guilt that he feels after accepting this kiss, because he drank the puke out of kind of instinct, it seemed like, because he like grew up starving on the streets.
But then we saw
his flashback.
He wouldn't eat puke.
Exactly. He's like, what kind of mammals are those? What kind of disgusting creature would do something like that?
Exactly.
So he's kind of disgusted with himself that he did that because he wanted a kiss. And he was crying in the bathroom that like
his first kiss got ruined.
And like, again, like we were like looking at her, I asked, like, is that him crying from just like puking? Because when you cry, when you puke, you tear up. Or no, he's like crying because it was like a sad thing. It's a horrible thing to be like, you know, seduced by someone like 10 years older than you, and then when they're drunk, to be basically drugged, taken back to their place, and you know, your first kiss, something you're so excited for, this pure thing, and then it tastes like puke, and you get humiliated in front of all your coworkers. Like this is terrible shit. And that, so I don't think we're reading too much into this to say that the show is talking about this kind of shit, and it makes me really excited, because this is infinitely more interesting and cool than, like, you know, just High School DxD but with violence, you know. So I'm really glad about that, and it makes Himeno's character a lot more interesting. That she, like, obviously we've got for the last 2 episodes all these flashbacks about how fucked up she is and how fucked up her past is, and it seems to be coming to fruition in this, you know. I don't know. It's really cool, and it's sad and fucked up and interesting and really sketchy and makes you feel a little gross, you know?
Yeah, it's just off-putting, you know?
Very off-putting.
And I like that they kind of frame that way, like, even through Denji's, it's like what he wanted, but like not at the same time, you know? It's like, oh, this is great, but also like
careful
not really. It's not actually good, you know?
Yeah. I liked it that they used the ending in the third ending in that first fight.
Yeah,
at the beginning of the episode. That was really cool.
That was really good.
And I was gonna cut out the part where I sang that at the beginning, but I think I'll leave it in because that was a little too perfect. Well, leave a like and subscribe, everybody. We'll see you guys next week. Let us know if I don't know. Have you been surprised at like either our reaction or other people's reaction to like these types of moments? Like whether you're surprised that like we're thinking about it in this way, or whether you're surprised that other people aren't, or or whether you think that it's not that deep,
it
or
it
what
could also be like if you've been watching reactions, like, yeah, because I guess you have, but and like people haven't been like getting into it too deep. Maybe either they're just uncomfortable by it and like don't want to, and like want to go for the surface level, like, oh yeah, this is awesome, or they're just like not used to it, or they don't want to offend people who
well, it's serious content, right?
Yeah,
like
they don't want to be like, oh, if I call this out, then the fans are gonna get mad at me because, like, you know what I mean? Like,
no, I don't know what you mean.
I'm saying not at me.
No, I know. I'm in this discussion, in this hypothetical situation that you're creating. Why would they get mad at you for talking about something?
If you're a reactor that tries to appease everyone by reacting like the right way to certain moments, like the hype moments, and you think, oh, I bet everyone thinks that him like grabbing boobs is a really hype moment, then you might want to react.
I think that's a little bit more five-head than a lot of people put into it, but I think a lot of people are just like, what we know is just you get into something and it's like, it's not necessarily thinking about it that much. I think that a lot of people are just kind of like, oh, this is like a big moment. This is a big moment. You just kind of do, like, you just kind of act and you're like, oh, damn, like, I don't know. It's just like, it's just the thing to say in that moment. And I think a lot of people do that. Also leave, I guess, channels of other people or people that you think react to, I don't know, have interesting discussion around this topic or anything like that. I'd be interested just to watch, hear other people's take on these situations, because it's kind of interesting. And maybe also at this point, like, maybe this is the episode where everyone kind of catches up to it.
I was thinking that too.
This is the episode where they kind of catch up to it being like kind of weird and fucked up and bad.
Yeah, I was honestly gonna say that, like, this episode, that with like the puke and just like the nature of this, like the end of this episode, I feel like at this point there's a lot more to discuss, and it's a lot more overt of just kind of the way that it is. So, I don't know, I'd be interested to see.
Leave a like and subscribe. See you next one, Carson.
I'm Lindsay.